What's up? What's up? It's Gucci and I'm back. Hey y'all, what's going on? I know it's been a minute since I did a recorded video. Y'all excuse my printer in the background, but I'm doing two things at once. So today I'm going to be doing a video on how to design within Design Space. And it's going to be a specific design. It's floating around out there right now in the crafting world. It says my husband is dope or my wife is dope. So I got a special request from one of the Facebook crafting groups that I'm in, from a group of young ladies that wanted to know how to create the SVG on their own. Someone posted it and they were like, where can I get this or how can I make it? I'm like, yes, you can make this on your own within Design Space. And so today, that's what we're going to be doing. So let's hop right on into it. We can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. So we're going to go right to our text box and we are going to type out everything that we are going to be putting on this SVG. I'm going to do my uppercase and lowercase, and then I'm going to do husband in all uppercase. And I'm making sure that, you know, the lines that I want to be separate are going to be on separate lines within my text box. And then I'm going to do dope in all capital. All right, bam. So now I have all my words out that I want to be within this SVG. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ungroup to lines. I hope y'all not too annoyed by my printer, but it's got to print, y'all. Now what I want to do is I want to change this first one to a font that I have. I believe it's called August. It's not August, it's Augustia. Augustia. All right, so that my is going to be in Augustia, and so is the is. All right. And I'm going to put the husband in my Boss Baby font. And I'm doing that because it has a little tie that's going to pop up in the A, and I thought that that was really cute. All right, and then dope is going to stay in the font that it is already in. All right, and so now we're going to start piecing this together. So let's take these off of the screen for a minute so we can get our lives together. So I want to bring these in closer together. So I'm just going to go ahead and ungroup the M and the Y. I'm going to hold my shift button and I'm going to move the Y close to the M just like that. And then I'm going to weld them together. And the reason why I'm going to weld them is because, as you can see, when it is going there, it's not seamless. So there's going to be a cut line there in between that M and that Y, and I want to get rid of that cut line. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them, and I'm going to weld them. And now they will be seamless. There will be no cut line between the two of them. And I'm going to do the same thing for is. I'm going to ungroup it, grab my S, hold down my shift, and I'm just going to move it closer to make the word seamless. I'm going to go ahead and group it, and I'm going to weld it. And I'm going to go use my two ways I can change the color of is. I can go over here to my color sync panel and I can move is right up to where the my is, like that. Or I could have went over here to my line type and moved it. But I like to showcase that color sync feature because a lot of people don't know what it's for. All right, so we have my and is there. Let's bring out our dope. I don't know what Cricut just did to our word husband, but we will go ahead and retype that out when we are in need of it. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to be doing what's called a knockout with the word dope. So we're going to be crossing these letters in front of each other so that they have this really cool effect that they're connected like a chain. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to highlight them both and just go ahead and ungroup them both. And then I'm going to go ahead and change the colors to dope. We're going to do blue for that. I think this one we'll do in orange. This one we'll do in a green. And this one we will do in yellow. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the letters at the top, change them to those colors. Just go back over here and see it's not giving me my whole word. Oh, dope is not ungrouped, that's why. Here we go. Then we can go back to our color sync. And we're going to make the D blue, make the O orange, make the P green, make the E yellow. Great. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of line this up the way that they're going to go. And I'm going to move down just a little bit. So I want to see how they're actually going to look. And I actually want my D to be on top of my O. Put my P there. And I'm going to have my E here. Move my O up just a little bit. And I actually want my P to be on top of my E. Like that. So that's how I want my word dope to look. Now, here's the thing. I could group this together. I could have the machine cut, you know, it would cut each of these letters out individually, and then I could just lay them on top of each other to the best of my ability. But I don't want to do that because this will be going, essentially it'll be going onto a garment, right? When you're making this to do a shirt, even if you're going to do a mask or you're going to do a bag or something like that, because you could use the word wife instead of husband. You want as much vinyl as possible to be on that product. And so in order to do that, we're going to slice the letters out of each other. So we create what's called a knockout so that when we lay the vinyl, this D, instead of being directly on top of the O, this portion here is going to go directly onto the shirt itself. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just grab these and move those over to the side just like that. We can only slice 2 things at a time. So we're going to go ahead and highlight the D and the O, and then we are going to slice them. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to get all of our, I call it junk. We're going to move all of our junk, get rid of all of our junk. So these 2 items we no longer need. Right, so we're going to delete that O because guess what? We can take this O and stick it right where the other one was, and it is perfect. We can get it lined up right. Trying to get my line back right. All right, so now that portion, all of this is going to be directly onto our garment. It's not going, we're not going to have to layer the vinyl on top of itself, which some vinyl can be layered. There's other vinyl that'll tell you that it cannot be layered. Okay, layering vinyl is great when you put it on top of each other. Sometimes it looks really pretty, especially when you're doing glitter. However, if it is not laundered properly, then it won't last as long as if you have the vinyl actually attached to the actual garment. So that's why it's a good reason to do it this way. Okay, now I'm going to take my P And I want my P and my D to be on the same field. So I'm gonna have my P there and I'm gonna highlight my D by selecting the shift button. So now my P and my D are highlighted. I'm gonna go to align and I'm going to go to center vertically so that they go into the same spot. And I'm just gonna adjust my O to fit into that. All right. Now this is where I want the P to be. I'm gonna highlight the P. And then I'm going to hit my shift button and select the O. And now I'm going to slice it. All right, so now I can get rid of the junk that was left behind. So we have that corner of the P and then we have that little piece of the O. So we can go ahead and delete the P and delete those little junk pieces that were left over. And every time I do this, I'm just making sure that I line back up so that it looks good when I get ready to do it. Okay, so look, now my P is going to fit right there into that little spot. And although it looks like my P is over my O, it's really not. Okay. Now I'm going to take my E. And I want my E and my O to be on the same field. So I'm going to press the O and my sticky button's going to pop up. Nope. I'm going to select my O, press Shift, select my E. And now I'm going to make sure that I center those vertically so that they end up on the same fields. All right, now I'm going to take my E and my P, make sure that they're both highlighted, and I'm going to go ahead and slice. And then we get rid of all of our junk. Come on, P. Excellent. Now here's my E. And my E is going to fit perfectly there. Now I can get rid of the D and the E here. Your services are no longer needed, darling. I'm going to highlight both of those. I'll go back to my layers panel because we were in color sync. And I'm going to go ahead and group those. Now those are grouped. Excellent. Now again, we lost our word husband, so we're going to go ahead and just retype that out the right way because we can spell. Yes, we can. All right, and so I'm going to use my slice feature as well for husband. I'm going to cut husband out of a box. So my idea is because it has all of these colors that it will look really good on top of a black shirt. Some people are using black shirts, people are using white shirts for this SVG. Also with the word husband, you don't have to use the boss baby. I just thought it was cool that the tie was there. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get a box. And it's gonna be cool because when we slice it out, that tie is going to be sitting inside of the and it's going to have its own little blue piece there. So I like that part. And we're going to send this back. Right. And what I want to do is I'm going to highlight the box and husband, and I'm going to make sure that they're centered vertically and that it is centered horizontally as well. I think I did horizontally first, but we want to center vertically and horizontally so that it is directly in the middle of the box, going all the way around. Now we're going to highlight and we are going to slice. Right? Now that I have done that, we can go ahead and get rid of our junk here. We don't need this anymore. Love how the tie is going to be like that. Makes it look a little 3D there. And I'm going to go ahead and make this blue. And of course, you can do this with vinyl, or you can do sublimation. If you're going to do sublimation, no need to do the slice out of the letters. You can just lay it on top of each other. But if you're actually going to be using vinyl, you want to do the slicing so that again, the vinyl goes directly onto the garment or whatever you're using bag. All right, so we're going to bring this one front. We're going to bring this one front. And what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of those. We're going to center horizontally so that we're right in the center of the square. And then I'm going to duplicate the word my, because I'm going to do a slice out of this one as well, so that I don't have to lay it just directly on top of the vinyl. It's actually going to go onto the shirt. So I'm going to highlight my, and I'm going to highlight husband, and I'm going to go ahead and slice those. Take that away, take me away. All right, we'll bring this one back front. I want to make sure this one is recentered here. After I duplicate it and send front. I resized it just so I don't have to go through that, because I just realized that I made this smaller. We're going to do this because we want it to fit exactly. Center it, highlight, and slice. Again, if you're going to do this as sublimation, there's no need to go through these steps. But if you are using vinyl, which I'm seeing that that is what a lot of people are using, then I would do it this way so you don't have to lay it on the vinyl. You're going to be able to see it. All right. Also, this will help you make sure that everything is lined up the way that it's supposed to go, because you have your cutouts. We're going to send this one back front. Be right there with it. Do the same for this one. Bring it back front. There we go. You can't even tell that we've cut that out. We're going to group that. And now we have dope. We can unlock it here and stretch it. Oopsies, don't do that. Get back where you were. There we go. I'm gonna reach and grab, and we're just gonna make sure that we center this horizontally so that dope is centered there. And I actually wanna stretch dope out a little bit more this way. And lock it back. Group it. There we have the My Husband is Dope SVG that you can use. You designed it right in Cricut. You can also do the same thing by just adding the word wife in there. You can do wife instead of husband, and go through and do your slicing and things like that for the my is. And again, if you're doing this with sublimation, no need to do it. But if you are going to do it with vinyl, then I suggest doing it this way so that your vinyl, all of your vinyl is touching your actual garment or whatever apparel that you're using, whether it be a garment as far as a shirt, a sweatshirt, an apparel, you know, bag, mask, a scarf, whatever it is that you want to put it on. Okay. And then I like to do like little mock-ups to my customers to send them before I actually cut anything out, which I suggest that you do. Very simple to do. We're going to go on and see if we can find, let's type here, black shirt, because I will put this on a black shirt just because it's really colorful, PNG. And we'll go to images. And we're just going to find us a nice little black shirt. This one looks good. There we go. We're going to save as. And we will call it black shirt. All right, get back over here to our Cricut. We're going to go ahead and upload. Hold on. It didn't save it the right way. Let's go up to our quick access. Oh, there it is, black shirt. How come, why not? Now it's telling me it can't find it. I think I have another black shirt in here. I don't know why I did that because we saved it correctly, but I have one in here. So let's go insert. That's how you go get your black shirt. Just go to Google and find a black shirt. All right, and I'm only going to be using one side of this shirt. So I'm going to use that good old slice feature again because nothing's going to be going on the back of this shirt unless you want it to. But I don't need the back part of this. So I'm just going to slice it out. And by slicing, I'm separating it so they're no longer together. And I can go ahead and just delete that whole thing. I really want to use that other shirt because this is more like a female shirt. So we're going to bring this front. And please do not mock up anything that you cannot make. If you can't make it, baby, don't mock it up. All right. And you let your customer know this is the digital rendition of the shirt. You're going to try to get as close to this design as possible on the actual shirt. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to highlight both of those and I'm just going to flatten it so it really looks like it's on the shirt itself. Okay. So I went ahead and flattened it. And just to add a little pizzazz, we're going to go ahead and put this on a box. And send back. This shirt's got an outline, so we're going to go ahead and make this white. Bam, so it looks like it's popping on there. And we're going to change the font. on that. We won't have it be the same font. Let's go with a bold font though. We'll do like Impact or something. All right, and then we'll just throw on a logo. We'll just use the I Teach Crafts, the new I Teach Crafts logo. Always put my logo on any mock-up that I do for a client. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Snippet Tool. And if you have a PC, you can go to your search bar here if you don't have it already onto your pen to your desktop. And you can type in Snippet. And it'll give you the snipping tool, or type in snipping, and it'll give you the snipping tool, right? So here it is. It says new. I'm going to select new. And now I'm just going to go around the portion that I actually want to take with me. All right, so it's taking my picture there. Now what I can do is I can go to Save As. And I'm going to say dope mockup. And so I'm actually going to save it as a PNG, the portable network graphic file. So I'm going to select save. And then what I would do from there is email it to myself so that I can either then email it over to my client, or I can save it to my phone for my email and text it to my client, depending on how we are communicating. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a little something, how to get this together. Again, you don't have to do it exactly the way that I did it. Put your own little twist to it, just like I did from the original SVG that I saw. But this is how you can make it. Very simple, very easy. Just utilizing fonts and shapes that you have within Design Space to get it done. So until next time, you guys, happy crafting. Make sure that you follow me here on the Gucci Crafts channel. Make sure that you follow me on Facebook, which is also Gucci Crafts. And if you are part of the elite club that we call the house, Clubhouse, make sure that you follow me on Clubhouse as well at Gucci Crafts. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.